What's the latest in this case?
Yeah, Kenesha, the Priceville City Council is set to decide at 6:30 tonight whether to uphold the firing or to reinstate Officer Gary Chapman to the police force. Several people with the city of Priceville, including the mayor and chief of police, are recommending Chapman's termination. They say he followed suspect Archie Hale for too long, failing to assess the danger of the chase. But Chapman's attorney told me over the phone earlier today that Chapman had the discretion to follow Hale because no supervisor was on duty. He alleges that Chapman did everything to standard that night in September.
You are to notify a supervisor who monitors their pursuit, and the supervisor may or may not call off the pursuit. In this instance, Gary notified the dispatcher to get in touch with a supervisor. None was on duty, so it was up to the pursuing vehicle, the number one officer there, to use his discretion on whether or not to continue the pursuit.
Morrow says they'll be arguing tonight that Chapman followed department policy during the entire chase. With that city council meeting set to start here in just a few minutes, I'm going to head inside now, and I'll have more for you tonight at 9. For now, live in Priceville, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
Thank you, Caleb. We'll be following this story and giving you updates as they do come out. Tune in to Fox 54 News at 9 for the latest from this hearing, or for more information and our previous coverage of this story, follow along on our website, fox54.com. We do have a live look from Rainbow Mountain, beautiful, over in Madison. You can see that sun glowing. It was a lot of that today. Plenty of sunshine, barely any clouds, lots of pretty blue. Let's bring in Fox 54 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Jordan, a sunny start to the weekend. It felt like there was barely any humidity.
Yeah, there's almost no humidity as far as our atmosphere is concerned, which is why we really haven't seen much in the way of any sort of cloud cover. When there's no moisture present in the atmosphere, it's basically impossible for clouds to develop. I think that's a good thing because that means we get to enjoy the really nice, pretty blue sky. At least while we've got it sticking around. The sun's going to set this evening right around 6:12 or 6:13. Off to DeKalb County we go, much the same as what you just saw there from the top of Rainbow Mountain. Plenty of blue sky. The sun's on its way to setting. Temperatures are holding steady this evening. Many of us find ourselves sitting somewhere in the 70s. We're gradually going to begin to cool off over the next couple of hours. Really is going to be a beautiful evening, though, if you'd like to spend a little bit of time outside. 73 at 7, 68 by 8, 65 by 9, 64 degrees at 10 p.m. From there, we're actually going to do a pretty good job at cooling off late tonight, early tomorrow morning. We're probably going to be a little bit warmer tonight compared to what we saw last night, but still, temperatures dropping into the lower 50s up across southern and middle Tennessee, low and mid 50s across far northeast Alabama. Everybody else probably dropping into the mid 50s. From there, we do a really good job at warming up as we head into your Tuesday afternoon. I do have a little bit of rain in the forecast, and we'll talk about that in just a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Jordan. A man who escaped from a prison job site in Huntsville is once again behind bars. 66-year-old Philip Deason was captured in Nashville today by the Metro Nashville Police Department. Deason escaped on September 30th while out on a work assignment here in the Rocket City. He's serving time for theft of property, which he was sentenced for back in 1999. A 17-year-old has been arrested after a shooting at Hilltop Terrace injured one person Friday. Huntsville police say officers responded Friday to the 2600 block of Hilltop Terrace, and it's where they say they found a person suffering from a life-threatening gunshot wound. An investigation determined the 17-year-old fired the weapon. They were arrested and charged with assault. The victim still in the hospital and remains in critical condition. A 25-year-old Tuscumbia man was arrested Saturday night after officers say he was found in a car with a child. Littleville police says officers responded around 11:45 p.m. to investigate a suspicious car on George Wallace Highway. They say they found this man here, Keelan Morgan, in the car with a minor. Morgan was arrested and charged with sexual abuse and tampering with physical evidence, each carrying a $1,000 cash bond. We're learning more about a hit and run that happened on Saturday night, according to police. A tow truck driver was about to pull a car off the road when another car drove onto the bed of the truck, came off, and struck the driver. The driver of that tow truck was taken to the hospital with serious injuries, but we're learning the driver is expected to be okay. If you have any information, you're asked to call HPD. Two gates at Red Zone Arsenal will have new hours beginning tomorrow. Gates 1 and 7 will close for inbound traffic at 1:30 p.m. After that, the gates will remain open for outbound traffic only. According to officials, commercial vehicles will need to use the far right lane of Gate 9 after 1 p.m. Red Zone Arsenal says the new hours are due to effects from the government shutdown. As the federal government shutdown continues and financial strain deepens, One Gen Away is hosting mobile pantries, giving free boxes of groceries to impacted workers and their families. Food boxes may be picked up Wednesday at 8 a.m. at Johnny Grill's off of University Drive in Huntsville, and Thursday at 9 a.m. at the Texas Roadhouse on Cox Creek Parkway in Florence. You aren't required to show proof of employment to participate. The owners of a bar and grill shut down by court order are now asking for support ahead of its next hearing. 708 Bar and Grill was shut down by the city of Huntsville, with court records alleging the spot has been the site of criminal investigations and concerns. Documents say the owners claim they didn't have the proper chance to dispute the allegations. The case will be back in the courtroom Wednesday at 9 in the morning. Malcolm Gopher, who owns the restaurant, is urging people to attend today's District 1 Town Hall to show support. It'll be held at the Richard Showers Rec Center starting at 6 p.m. If you live on Alpha Lane in Madison County, listen up. The Madison County Water Department is turning off your water tomorrow morning, and it's to help perform system improvements. The outage is scheduled to begin at 8 a.m. and will last until around 2 p.m. while crews work to upgrade the local water system. Officials say service will be restored as quickly as possible once the work is completed. The University of Alabama in Huntsville announced today that President Charles Carr will retire in May of next year. Carr spent more than 30 years in higher education, including 26 years at the University of Alabama as Dean of the College of Engineering. Carr joined UAH as interim president in November of 2021 and was named president of the university in September of 2022. Sounds of celebration as all remaining Hamas hostages are freed, and we've got their stories just ahead and a listen from President Trump. A SpaceX spacecraft getting ready for liftoff this evening. We'll take you to Texas for a look ahead.
Community members gathered in Florence last night for the Ride Out for August meet. The event was for August Borden, the Deschler High School football player who suffered a fractured skull back in Say this one, where Unbothered Society says the meet wasn't just about justice for Borden. He wants Borden to feel and know that the community is here for him.
I have a son myself, so seeing that the community comes out and shows love to this young man and is doing all of this for him, that makes me feel great because I would want my son to have the same support.
The Northwest Alabama chapter of Bikers Against Bullying also showed their support. Many attendees of the car meet helped raise money for Borden's GoFundMe. Someone at the meet also sold Justice for August car stickers. Around half of the proceeds from the stickers would go to Borden and his family. Eddie says he is grateful that the community showed up and showed out in ways he wasn't even expecting.
We did not expect the amount of support and love that the community showed. Usually we average anywhere from about 20 to 30 cars or even bicycles. Like, it's just any ride that you have, honestly. For big events like the Ride Outs, we usually average about 50. And today it was just a lot more than what we expected.
Many of those there at the meet last night say they are still seeking answers and hope for justice. In Florence, Logan Alexandra Russell, Fox 54 News.
It took more than 2 years, but today Hamas released the 20 remaining living hostages following the October 7th terror attack. President Trump called it a dawn of a new Middle East as Israel released Palestinian prisoners under a U.S. brokered ceasefire deal. Maribel Gonzalez reports.
Emotional reunions as the final 20 hostages held by Hamas were reunited with their families across Israel. People cheered in Tel Aviv celebrating this milestone moment. Under a U.S. brokered ceasefire deal, hundreds of Palestinian prisoners and detainees were met with large crowds as they also reunited with their relatives in the West Bank. President Donald Trump declared a dawn of a new Middle East.
This deal, this once-in-a-lifetime deal, nobody's ever seen anything like what's happening today.
On Monday, photos released by the Israeli Prime Minister's office show a freed hostage playing with his children for the first time in 2 years. Families say they never stopped fighting for the release of their loved ones.
Keep sharing your stories to policymakers. Keep telling us what do you think needs to happen and give us ideas on how we can break the deadlock. And we kept doing that. They kept open the White House for us. And President Trump has done it.
President Trump said that phase 2 of his 20-point ceasefire plan to end the war between Israel and Hamas has already started as he meets with world leaders in Egypt for a summit on Gaza's future and peace in the Middle East.
You look at Gaza, it needs a lot of cleanup.
This is clearly, in my mind, I think in the mind of everyone in this room, probably one of the most important days for world peace in 50 years.
I'm Maribel Gonzalez reporting.
Israeli authorities said Hamas also handed over 4 coffins with the remains of deceased hostages to the Red Cross. Back here in the Tennessee Valley, we've got a scam alert for you out of Limestone County. Those callers targeting family members of people in jail. Details ahead. And Jordan, how's our weather looking?
Yeah, weather looking fantastic. It's going to be a beautiful evening across the Tennessee Valley, and then for the most part, it's going to be a beautiful week. But I do have a little bit of rain. We'll talk about it in just a couple of minutes.
In her SIG out, she says that she's in Florence, but wasn't the event in Tuscumbia? Sunday will mark 2 months since 15-year-old August Borden sustained severe head injuries and was airlifted from Deschler High School. The Madison County District Attorney's Office recently announced there would be no criminal charges stemming from the incident, but the support for August continued last night in Tuscumbia. What started off as a simple idea for a gift basket soon turned into something much greater. Fox 54's Logan Alexandra Russell has more.
Community members gathered in Florence last night for the Ride Out for August meet. The event was for August Borden, the Deschler High School football player who suffered a fractured skull back in August. Unbothered Society, a car group, organized yesterday's event to allow the community to show love and support to Borden. The group host meets regularly, but they say this one was the biggest turnout yet. Eddie, the founder of Unbothered Society, says the meet wasn't just about justice for Borden. He wants Borden to feel and know that the community is here for him.
I have a son myself, so seeing that the community comes out and shows love to this young man and is doing all of this for him, that makes me feel great because I would want my son to have the same support.
The Northwest Alabama chapter of Bikers Against Bullying also showed their support. Many attendees of the car meet helped raise money for Borden's GoFundMe. Someone at the meet also sold Justice for August car stickers. Around half of the proceeds from the stickers would go to Borden and his family. Eddie says he is grateful that the community showed up and showed out in ways he wasn't even expecting.
We did not expect the amount of support and love that the community showed. Usually we average anywhere from about 20 to 30 cars or even bicycles. Like, it's just any ride that you have, honestly. For big events like the ride outs, we usually average about 50. And today it was just a lot more than what we expected.
Many of those there at the meet last night say they are still seeking answers and hope for justice. In Florence, Logan Alexandra Russell, Fox 54 News.
You can find our coverage of the Borden investigation on our website, and that is fox54.com. We do have a scam alert out of Limestone County. The Sheriff's Office warning you about a popular phone scam targeting those with family in jail. Suspects will try to call you, say they're with the Limestone County Jail, and claim a family member is in jail and request money. Often through Cash App or other money transfer sites and apps as well, they'll request it. The Sheriff's Office says they will never call or request money to release an inmate. You're urged to not send money to callers you don't know and report any suspicious calls. It's launch day from Texas, and if conditions are good, the launch window for a SpaceX rocket will open at 6:15 p.m. Central Time. This will be the 11th flight test of the Super Heavy booster that includes flight experiment, stress testing its heat shield, and demonstrating maneuvers on the final approach. The booster will launch with 24 Raptor engines, and different engine configurations will be tested in various phases of the flight. Starship is the largest rocket system ever constructed, but parts of the vehicle have failed dramatically in 6 of its 10 test flights so far.
Now, the Tennessee Valley's certified most accurate forecast from the Fox 54 Weather Impact Team.
This time we're having a live look from Drake Mountain. You can see below the city, but also very apparent on the right-hand corner, that sunset. And I would imagine just quite a beautiful day from what we see now. Yeah.
No, it was a beautiful afternoon. It's shaping up to be a beautiful evening. Did you have a nice weekend?
I did, and I actually went outside.
Very good. Did you open the windows in the home yet?
No.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Are you good? Are you the type that goes from AC to heat, or will you open the windows at some point?
Oh my gosh. Well, right now I'm taking a break from the AC.
Okay, that's good.
Yes.
That's the good thing to do.
Yes, because it is getting cooler, so it definitely lightens up my bill, electricity bill.
But we have not opened the windows yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
No. What about you?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. No, I opened the windows a number of days ago. I think it was Thursday or Friday when it started to get really nice.
Bedroom or living room?
All of them.
Oh my goodness.
Literally all of them. The more fresh air at this point that I can get into my house, the better. Plus, I also enjoy not having to run the AC so that I can save a little bit of money on my electric bill. Now, it was a cooler morning across the Tennessee Valley, specifically east of the I-65 corridor, where temperatures had no problems dropping into the mid and upper 40s. We saw this up across southern middle Tennessee as well. This is some of the coolest air we've seen across the Tennessee Valley since the middle part of April. And what's interesting is we started on the cooler end of the spectrum, but then temperatures climbed to reasonably above average today. The average high temperature right around 76 or 77 degrees. In most cases, we climbed into the upper 70s and lower 80s. Florence saw 82 this afternoon. The Huntsville International Airport saw 81. Now we did see 78 today in Scottsboro and a pair of 77s for both Pulaski and Fayetteville. Live look out over the Parkway this evening. It's very difficult to find much in the way of any sort of cloud cover. We're really not talking about a lot of moisture in our atmosphere, and you probably noticed that given the large lack of humidity across the area. And when there's no moisture to play with, well, it's going to be practically impossible for clouds to develop. And then another look for you here from the top of Montesano. Sun's going to set at right around 6:12 or 6:13. Temperatures currently sitting in the mid and upper 70s, right around 79 degrees through the rest of the evening. 73 at 7, 68 by 8, 65 at 9, 64 degrees by the time we get to 10 p.m. under a really nice clear sky. Now, we're going to do a pretty good job at cooling off as we head into the overnight. We're going to be a little warmer, though, tonight compared to what we saw last night. Temperatures climbing or dropping in general into the low and mid 50s across the Tennessee Valley. Maybe we get some upper 40s up across southern middle Tennessee. Maybe we get some upper 40s across the higher elevations of northeast Alabama. But in general, we're talking about the low and mid 50s. When the kids get on the school bus tomorrow morning, when you head out the door for work, 54 at 7, 58 by 8, 62 at 9, lower 70s by the time we get to the later part of the morning with, once again, plenty of sunshine. Another above average day, another day where we're talking about plenty of sunshine and a large lack of humidity. I've got a high temperature right around 81 degrees. Let's talk about the rest of the week. Temperatures are going to be just a bit above normal. The lower 80s are going to be a bit of a consistent feature, and you'll see what I mean by the time we get to the 7-day forecast. We're also going to maintain the sunshine and the lack of humidity, but things are going to change as we head into the weekend. A cold front is going to push its way through the area. It's going to bring some showers and thunderstorms to the area. Some of that rain is a touch on the needed end of the spectrum. Now, when I say needed, I don't necessarily mean we're desperate for precipitation, but we could use a little bit of rain, as the vast majority of us are sitting in the abnormally dry category as far as a drought monitor is concerned, and I would really like it if the drought problems didn't get any worse across the area. Well, the weekend is really the only opportunity for rain. Right now, it looks like the best chance is going to come Saturday night and then through about the first half of the day on Sunday. How does that impact Talladega this weekend? Well, it's only Monday, so really it's kind of hard to provide any of those details. Off to the tropics we go. We're talking about Tropical Storm Lorenzo. Over the weekend, we actually did have Karen develop. Karen was very short-lived. Lorenzo right now has sustained winds of 50 miles per hour and is going to have absolutely no impact on the continental United States. As a matter of fact, once again, it's going to turn and head back out into the Atlantic Ocean over the next couple of days. Have a good look at the next 7 days. 81 degrees on Tuesday, 82 on Wednesday, a pair of 83s as we head into Thursday and Friday. Again, maintaining the sunshine across the Tennessee Valley. Maybe a little more cloud cover as we head into your Saturday, but overall, I think Saturday looks nice. Again, best chance for showers and thunderstorms going to build into the area Saturday night and then early into Sunday morning, maybe through the first half of Sunday afternoon. We'll figure all that out as we head into the later part of the week. 76 on Sunday, 75 degrees by the time we get to next Monday.
We do have a Fox 54 traffic impact alert for you. The City of Hartselle Public Works Department is continuing a road closure on Bethel Road tomorrow. That closure is from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. to allow crews to perform street repair work. Traffic on the east end of the closure will be detoured at Roan Road. Traffic on the west end of the closure will be detoured at Indian Hills Road. For more traffic impact alerts, go to fox54.com. The Decatur Morgan Hospital Foundation is hosting the annual Power of Pink luncheon and fashion show tomorrow. Proceeds from the luncheon and fashion show will directly benefit the purchase of advanced breast health equipment, including the Affirm Upright Breast Biopsy Guidance System, a vital tool in early detection and treatment of breast cancer. Doors open at 11:30 a.m. at Ingalls Pavilion. You must register to attend. The final 805 After 5 concert of the year is scheduled for this week. The Stolen Faces, a Grateful Dead tribute band, expected to perform Thursday to conclude the popular concert series. Concertgoers are encouraged to bring lawn chairs or blankets. Food and drinks will be available from on-site vendors and Campus 805's restaurants and breweries. Outside food and beverages are not allowed. Nick, what's new with sports?
Yeah, Kanisha, the Crimson Tide turned in a gutsy performance, picking up a win at Mizzou this weekend. We'll hear Kalen DeBoer's thoughts on his squad next in sports. So that was a couple minutes there. Yeah, that makes sense then. And Jordan, when it comes to me picking what I do, the lion does not worry itself with the opinions of sheep. So, looks good.
You're really proud of that, aren't you?
I mean, I think it's like a Game of Thrones line. So
Fox 54 Sports is sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
a gutsy win and now in great position to play for a championship. Good evening and welcome into sports. It really is hard to believe that 6 weeks ago it felt like it was time to break out a funeral dirge for what was an elite Alabama football program. But now, with a third straight win over a top 20 SEC team, it's clear that this squad has a real chance to do something special. Over the weekend, the Crimson Tide grinded out a 27-24 victory in a tough road environment against a really good Missouri team. In that game, Bama won the turnover battle, was perfect on fourth down, and stifled Mizzou on third down, allowing just one first down on 10 attempts. Alabama is now winners of 5 in a row, 3-0 in SEC play, with no currently ranked road games remaining on the schedule. Here's Kalen DeBoer on what he's learned about his team so far during the conference slate.
I think they've done a great job of taking whatever it is that is against us, or whatever the doubt is that people have for our team, and taking that energy and just pouring it into what matters most, and that's our preparation. There's a rivalry piece to this game, but there's also now just there's a confidence that we've built through some things, but we also got to go back to how did this all start? We've referred to just shut up, show up, and do the work.
All the SEC games ahead are big for the Tide, but this one always has extra juice. This weekend, we have the third Saturday in October. Alabama hosts Tennessee at 6:30 p.m. And Huntsville's favorite NFL team has parted ways with its head coach after a 1-5 start to the season. The Titans announced the move, firing Brian Callahan, who was the leader in Nashville for just 23 games. During that time, Tennessee went just 4-19 and frankly was barely competitive. Senior offensive assistant Mike McCoy has been named the interim head coach. Now, McCoy was the head coach of the Chargers for 4 seasons, getting San Diego to the playoffs in 2013. That's it for sports. We'll talk Auburn football at 6. Kanisha?
Yes, Nick, coming up on Fox 54 News at 6, the remaining hostages in Israel are free. We'll give you the reaction from right here in the Tennessee Valley. The owners of a bar and grill is fighting back after their establishment